My name is Devan Anderson from Durham University. You are now watching Gridiron Strong.
Hey, today I'm here with Devan from Durham University.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. And I'm going to interview him about his experiences here in the UK playing football. And yeah, let's start.
Let's go.
Okay, Devan, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. So again, my name is Devan Anderson. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. Midwestern guy. I've been playing football since I was about 10 years old. I'm studying management and human resources here at Durham University. And pretty much what brought me to Durham was the opportunity. I've been playing football for over half of my life, and I never actually thought that I would have an opportunity to play overseas as well as being a student athlete. So I've just been grateful for the opportunity, been learning more about the game and kind of seeing how different cultures and obviously being here in the UK, everyone is approaching the game of American football. It's good to see the growth of the game as well. Obviously with safety being a big thing that's going on with American football and not knowing the definite future. There's in the States, states are talking about banning tackle football at least till the age of 13, which is interesting because I started playing at 10. So just different things like that, been paying attention to. But it's been a great experience. I mean, the British guys are, they're tough. Coming out here, you don't necessarily know what to expect. Obviously, you've been playing a sport for so long, and you kind of think it's newer to these people. But it's like once you dive into it, you kind of see that, these guys can play football. So it's pretty good to see.
So, do you want to tell me a bit about where you've played in the past and a highlight of your career?
Yeah. So undergraduate, I played football at Baldwin-Wallace University, which is Division III in the Ohio Athletic Conference. So we had some great competition. There were some guys who came from that conference who played in the NFL and are playing in the NFL currently, different schools such as John Carroll, Mount Union. So it was good to kind of, playing small football, you kind of just, it was a love for the game thing, but it was a lot of good talent coming from Northeast Ohio, the state of Ohio, as well. And I would say probably the highlight of my career has probably happened since I've been over here in the UK. Moving back to running back, which was my national position that I played for most of my life. Probably rushing for a little bit over 200 yards, I guess, against Sterling. I had about 30 carries. It was a game, but that was a great experience. I hadn't played running back in so long, and just to be able to secure that win, obviously running the ball a lot, it was good. So it kind of showed me I still had it. So it was kind of like my coming out party, I'd say. It was good.
Okay, so probably by now you know that I'm through my research. I'm particularly interested in head injuries, particularly concussion and its management in football. I was wondering if you could tell me a bit about your experience and the teams that you've worked with and played with in the States, and how they try to avoid head injuries and manage them.
Yeah, obviously coming up playing football for so long as a kid and youth football, you don't necessarily pay attention to the potential consequences that you can face, concussions and things like that. So I want to say probably as I got to high school, you learn that a lot of high schools have partnerships with different local hospitals. So they'll not only bring in their team trainers, but they'll also have local doctors and trainers that also work with the team, to where it's just an extra hand of support. So if you're in a game and you may have a head collision, they may see some symptoms first, and not necessarily that your trainer may be paying to, but they kind of work together to eliminate the potential of those head injuries. And as well as college, we perform baseline tests. So again, going to Baldwin-Wallace University, we had a partnership with the Cleveland Clinic, so it was a test to where you would kind of remember shape patterns or kind of how things go together, or different words and verbs and nouns and things like that, just to kind of test your mental capacity of remembering things. So it was good. I mean, they take it very seriously because obviously, again, kind of being an American football player, you become immune to some things, and you're just like, hey, we're just playing football, and my head hurts a little bit. It's part of the game. But they do take it very seriously, and safety is first, obviously, with the game growing and the safety being the biggest result of the game moving forward. So.
And how does the graduated return to play protocol look like? If you've been diagnosed with a concussion, is it like 2-3 weeks or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes case by case basis. I think they'll go probably by symptoms or the kind of impact that you might have had on the play. But they don't rush to get you back on the field because this could be a life-changing or career-altering thing that happens. I mean, it's something that they really do take serious. The coaches do understand. Sometimes it can be frustrating, especially if it's one of your star players or one of your players who may start on defense. But the biggest thing is making sure that these players will be good to play football as well as life after football. So,
Is that the same with all injuries, do you find, or just head injuries?
I think I would say head injuries for sure, just because the impact is very common. Head injury impact is very common. But I mean, obviously having a helmet, I think the helmet equipment has gotten better with different brands and different companies that are coming out with these new helmets to kind of lessen the impact that you experience. But I mean, if it's an injury such as it may be a wrist or an ankle or a knee, sometimes injuries that you're able to play through. But there's times where you can kind of see that someone is concussed, the way that they're responding to certain questions, or if they try to get up immediately after a play and they're kind of taking some time to walk off the field, or they may get up and then fall right back down. Those things are just signs that you can immediately tell. Sometimes even as a player, like, okay, that person's a little shaken up a little bit. So.
Yeah. So you'll actively highlight that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, great. And how does it differ? Is there any difference between youth management of injuries, like coaches, community volunteer coaches to high school, college?
Yeah, I would say, like, before the season starts, a lot of times in youth football there'll be kind of coaching clinics and things that will prepare the coaches to get ready for the season. There's always athletic trainers here on site. It's funny because when I was growing up, we didn't have athletic trainers at youth football games, but I think you kind of see it more just because the science has improved, as well as the overall awareness of what's going on with the game of football. Again, I talked earlier about the potential of certain states banning football, tackle football until the age of 13, which I'm not necessarily opposed to it, because obviously, growing up, you don't really know what a concussion is. Again, you just think that, okay, I hit somebody with my helmet, my head's going to be ringing for a couple plays. But, as you continue to play throughout that game, chances are you're going to have more head collisions and more impact. And I think the biggest thing today is they're teaching how to play the game the right way and safe. As you look at the trend from maybe football in the early 90s and 2000s to now, they're reteaching forms of tackling and, different ways to, as a running back, how to protect yourself as a receiver, if you can hit a receiver who's defenseless and things like that. I mean, it's good to see it. It's I don't know if it's necessarily taking away the fun or the physicality of the game, but I think it's just looking out for the overall well-being of the athlete and them, post-football. So.
Yeah. Do you mind telling us a bit about what the sports science support is like over in America, and how you think that we could improve it here in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, coming to the UK, I've been able to kind of dive into more popular sport, I'd say. So obviously seeing rugby is very big over here in the UK, as well as soccer. And I think that a lot of times universities will more so cater to their more popular sports. Again, being an American football athlete, I've been playing most of my life, and obviously playing in the U.S., it's the most popular sport. So people are going to pay a lot of attention to what you need, especially injury-wise and recovery support and things like that. So I would just say kind of the biggest thing that I've been able to overcome is kind of like after practice, back in the States we would do ice baths, or we would have heating pads and things that kind of just the trainers would, hey, do you need this, do you need this? I know, like, especially during like training camp, which is the busiest time of the season, you're kind of just getting ready for a long season. Coaches would mandatory put you in an ice bath right after training. It's like, hey, it's no, you got to do it, it's good for your recovery. And kind of just not having those things now, it's like something that you appreciate. But I know the season here runs differently, so obviously we play from October through March, where in the States, we start from August to November and late December if you're fortunate enough to make it to the playoffs and things like that. So I would just say here, I think they more so cater to their popular sports, which would be rugby and soccer. But in the States, I think all sports are catered to because it's so much a part of our culture. So as far as basketball, volleyball, baseball, I think we really do put an emphasis on making sure that the athlete is taken care of from a total perspective.
What's your off-season support like?
Yeah. So the off-season usually will start probably a month after the football season goes. So again, the regular season usually ends about December 5th, and then you'll probably get right back to weight training and things. I want to say like as soon as the second semester starts. So it's probably like the second week of January, and then you're probably running until spring ball with lifting, and then you'll probably have lifts in between spring ball. At the Division III level, there's no contact allowed in spring ball, as well as Division II, I believe, and then Division I, obviously they're able to do contact because of the NCAA rules and requirements. But it's interesting as well because in certain states, high school, you're able to actually have contact in spring ball. So states like Texas, and I believe California, I'm not exactly sure, but they're able to actually contact, so they're able to play year round, but they also have the athletic what's the word? Probably the athletic support to be able to support their bodies through injury and different things that they may go through from playing football so long, and the wear and tear that kind of comes with that. They're able to supplement that with the different athletic support that they do have.
And if you don't have support from the S&C coaches, like one-to-one support, or do you get programs that you're sent away with over the summer?
Yeah. Usually over the summer, they kind of trust you. At the smaller schools, Division III and Division II, they kind of trust you to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. So when you come into camp, you're in shape. But Division I, a lot of times athletes will stay on campus and take like 2 to 3 classes for compliance rules to be able to work out with their teams, which I think is great. Just being able to still be together. It's interesting when you see the game from different levels and you're able to kind of see how programs separate themselves, but still knowing that how the game works at the different levels. And Division II are actually obviously smaller schools, and Division III are smaller programs as well. So they do have regulations on practices and things like that. But just kind of seeing those trends and how you can just overcome them to continue to play the game.
What would you recommend to British unis about on how they can bring people into the game, whether to play or to watch? What would you recommend?
Yeah. From a playing aspect, I would try to say have some crossover from the rugby game. Obviously, football and rugby are pretty similar. I would, with rugby being the UK's most popular sport, arguably with soccer, I would just say kind of bring guys over and just kind of teach them about the game. There's always an argument, are rugby players more athletic than American football players? Obviously, I'm biased because I believe American football players could play rugby tomorrow if we want it, but, obviously with, rugby, it's a little different game, but some of the tendencies that, we do in American football are similar. And as far as from a fan standpoint, I would probably say just kind of get involved. You don't see it much in the UK, but obviously they pay attention to the culture of the NFL and the NCAA and things like that, with the Super Bowl being the largest sporting event kind of in the world. I would kind of say, from our aspect of Americans, to try to continue to bring the game over here. I know every year the NFL has 3 games. Maybe they can start bringing some college games over here just to kind of get the people involved. And then, maybe, start running like summer camps and developing kids at a younger age to be able to know about a game. Even if it's not contact American football, it can still be flag football. And then, they're just learning the game one step at a time. Because obviously, playing in America, we were learning the game at 6, 7 years old, even though we weren't, we didn't start playing organized football yet that old. We would just play, in our backyards and throw the ball around and play pickup games and things like that. So I would say just kind of, starting a youth development league to kind of get the kids to understand the game at a young age, and as well as continuing to bring the game over here from America, whether it's Division I programs and as well as more NFL games and things like that. I think it's been good. I know every time the NFL comes over, they sell out. So it's pretty cool to see. So, the fan base is there. I just think, they can kind of just keep exposing it.
So did you start off with flag, or you?
No, I went right into contact football, organized football. Yeah, I've never played flag football before. It was really just this. Contact football was all that was around me. So I was like, I didn't see flag football first. I saw this, so I was like, I want to do this.
But you'd still recommend?
Oh, definitely. Today, kind of knowing that, I'm sure probably when I played American football, I might have had a concussion or two. It's inevitable. Even if it wasn't a high collision, play, there's probably times that I might have, had a concussion and just didn't know it. Maybe if it was a low grade, there was probably times I woke up, maybe headache a little bit here and there, or after play heads ringing a little bit, but I didn't think much of it. I just thought it was another part of the game.
Did you not know any better?
No, not at all. I'm 11 years old. You're playing football. It's a physical game. I guess it kind of proves your toughness to say.
Okay, Devan. So if you were to try an English sport, another sport, not American football, obviously.
English
what
sport.
What would you choose?
It would definitely be rugby. A very close friend of mine, actually from my hometown, his name is Monte Gaddis. He's actually he was playing rugby over here in the UK. I think he's headed over to Serbia. I've just kind of been watching everything that he's been doing. He's been motivating me for a while, just in different aspects of my life. He played football overseas as well, which kind of led me to kind of pursue it. But rugby would definitely be a new experience for me. I think it's a very physical game. I don't think a lot of people pay attention to how physical the game is, but I think I'd be able to catch on very quickly just having an American football background. I know, just different rules to the game. Like pitching the ball backwards. You got obviously lateral in football, and obviously the playing field is different, but I think I'll be able to catch on to that game very quickly. And again, watching him play, I'd be able to have a trainer tomorrow. So I think I could do that.
Where's he playing at the moment?
He's going to be playing in Serbia, in Belgrade, Serbia, pretty soon. Yeah, he was playing over in the UK at Leeds. He tried out for one of the of the teams. I think he was playing for a little bit, and he had an opportunity to play again in Serbia. So I've been watching him. He's been loving it. So I'll probably get in the game more because of him.
Brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Have you had a go since you've been over here?
No, I haven't been yet, but I'll probably check out some matches.
When our season
finishes.
finishes.
Definitely. We've been so busy, definitely.
Okay, so do you want to tell us a bit about your aspirations once you finish your master's degree at Durham?
Yeah, after finishing my master's degree, I would like to pursue a career in student-athlete academic development, just because it's pretty much been the bulk of my life. Obviously being a student athlete and having different experiences through college and just creating that new network of friendship and teammates and different things like that is something I can see myself being a while and kind of sharing my story with other student athletes who come up through the ranks and helping them with whatever they may need in their future, such as internships, how to go about being a student athlete, balancing your studies with practices and different things like that. So I think that would kind of be the career route I wanted to take, student athlete development at a collegiate level, or probably team operations with the pro team. I had an internship back in 2015 with the Cleveland Browns. It was a great experience. So I want to stay around sports somehow, some way. So we'll see what happens.
Great. And do you think you'd ever consider coming back over to the UK?
If the right opportunity presented itself, I definitely would. It's very different. I miss the American food all the time. So that would kind of be something.
In particular?
Yeah, I know. Obviously, being an athlete, a football player, we eat a lot. But the UK is awesome. I would recommend anybody. It's one of the greatest countries to visit, just to be around, just to indulge in the culture. It's a great place. I definitely would if the opportunity presented itself, for sure.
Great. So thanks, Devan, for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Letting us know your experiences playing American football over here.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna get ready to see what happens for the playoffs.
Come
Durham
down and watch us.
Yeah, Maiden Castle. We're right here.
Yeah.
Home field advantage. Go Durham. Go Saints. Let's go.
So if you liked the video, then please give it a like and subscribe down below, and that would be great. Thanks for watching.